When police found the badly decomposed remains of Celeste Rivas Hernandez in the trunk of her rich boyfriend's Tesla, it kicked off a spiraling mystery 2.5 weeks ago. But it also ended another mystery, one that had lasted a year and a half. Celeste was a missing person from the age of 13 on. Her disappearance was reported to the Sheriff's Department in Riverside County, where she lived. In April of 2024, that report went in. But she had been a runaway at least twice before that, in January and again in March of that year. Now TMZ has obtained video from the March disappearance. It was captured by a surveillance camera down the street from Celeste's home in Lake Elsinore, California. There's Celeste, right there, at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday. This was March 19th. Where she's going and why she starts to run is unclear, but one thing is certain. This minute-long video is critical to what came next in her young life, as is personal information about Celeste herself from the man who owns the cameras. I spoke a short time ago about all of this with TMZ executive producer Charles Latibeaudiere, and here's our conversation. Charles, tell me about this video, when it was taken, and the significance of the date and time.
Well, the video that we obtained from this is surveillance video from a liquor store in Lake Elsinore, California. The date is March 19th, 2024. What's significant about that date is this was around the time where what we've heard now from several people who have known, who knew Celeste, is that she was a runaway, and that in early 2024, there were multiple times that she ran away from home. This would have been either the second or third time, we're trying to figure that out, that she ran away in March. The first time had been in January. We've talked about it, that the police found her in Hollywood and brought her back to her family. But in March, she took off again. And we know this because her sister went into this liquor store and asked the owner if he had seen her come into the store. Did he have any surveillance video that might have shown her or where she went? He went back and looked at his cameras, and he did see this video, which shows Celeste walking down the street, walking at first, but then running, and she's running toward someone. Now, you lose it in the video because she gets too far down the street and you can't make out the vehicle, but the owner of the liquor store who we spoke to told us there was a car waiting for her there.
I'll tell you, I zeroed in on a couple of details.
Mm-hmm.
One of the details was that it's 7 a.m. And I thought, what on earth could be going on in her life at 7 a.m. that this would cause a problem, and her sister would eventually ask for this video that day. And then I thought, well, that's usually a school bus pickup or dropout, you know, a pickup time. So is it thought that maybe she left home ostensibly to go to the school bus, didn't get on the school bus? Eventually, when she was reported as truant, maybe her sister started to ask, oh, I wonder if she ever did get on the school bus, and found the video showing that she didn't.
Yeah, that is exactly what happened here, Ashleigh, because the liquor store owner told us he was aware of Celeste and most of the kids in that neighborhood. Again, this liquor store is on the end of the block where Celeste's family lives. And he said that all the kids, when they would get off the school bus, or even when they were getting on the school bus, they would come into his store to buy, you know, drinks or candy, snacks. And so he spoke to a lot of the kids. He knew Celeste, and he told us that, you know, as far as he knew, he didn't know of any trouble at home, or that she was in any jeopardy or anything that he knew of. We have been told by law enforcement sources that they described her home life as troubled.
You and I have talked a little bit about this before, but I keep thinking every day something will loosen up with the LAPD. But I feel like you're getting the sense that this is one of the most tight-lipped cases they've had.
I'm not sure exactly why, but that is an accurate description. I mean, we cover a lot of stories not like this necessarily, but we cover a lot of stories involving law enforcement here in Hollywood, in the Hollywood area. You usually hear something, right? The police forces are too large to not hear something, and there is a clear order from someone to make sure that we keep a tight lid on, that they keep a tight lid on whatever it is that they've learned at this point. We've just heard so little.
Aren't you so shocked? I mean, honestly, this is the kind of case that screams for the public. We need your help. If you saw something on this date or this time or in this window, please call us. Like, tips help. You can ask the people in the Idaho case. The tips helped, and they really do bring in a lot of information and good leads. There's been nothing. There's been no request from the LAPD, which tells me they got what they need. They just need to figure out what the next step is to make sure it's not a mess.
And that they're trying to figure out how to connect some dots.
This seems to be another social media, investigation. Is it helping or is it hurting that there are so many true crime sleuths trying to piece together the puzzle?
I think, you said this just a few minutes ago, Ashleigh, that public tips help, right? And there are certainly, and I would imagine the LAPD is people who are looking at specializing in social media, combing through some of this material that's out there. It can only help. And, one of the things that I've learned a lot about as we've been covering this story is Discord. And there's a ton of information that is available there in David's communications with his fans and his fans' communications with Celeste. Whether or not any of it is going to lead to a location, where she was, who she was hanging out with, we haven't seen that yet, but I know that there is so much information out there. And if you have people on social media who are digging through it themselves, you never know. One of them might find the thing that, and certainly I hope that if they do, that they are sharing that with law enforcement. So maybe police are getting those tips anyway.
Charles Latibeaudiere, I know you have to go. I'm always so thankful. I appreciate it, sir.
Happy to talk to you anytime.
Sooner rather than later.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, Ashleigh.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.